question. If I say that regarding the current scenario in the energy transition, whatever is happening in our country, and put it like this, as Mr. Himadri has said, there is a stress. There is a stress on the grid. It has become very complex now. It was very simple earlier days, but it has now become very complex. There are many things coming in, and there is a bi-directional flow also. He spoke about the consumers, and now it has been converted into prosumers, as we can see, and we have witnessed, we are experiencing it. So if I ask Mr. Romesh, sir, if I ask, if there is a stress, speaking about the current scenario of the energy transition of the power sector in our country, very simple question: how we are going to cope up with that? Regarding the technology, regarding the policies and framework, whichever we have in place. So please, your response.
I think the stress is we have to accept that stress is self-generated. So it is not something that is imposed. So we need to look from generation and consumption balancing. And when we are talking of transition, I think I mentioned in my brief discussion earlier, we need to balance. Now, solar, wind is fine, but like Dr. Banerjee has mentioned, we need to keep either on a standby or on minimum load or something, this fossil energy. We also have to expedite the investments as well as the clearances in terms of the nuclear. These are the three things that we need to work in as far as the generation is concerned. The transmission, we know there is little that we can do, except that we create microgrids and minimize the distance or the execution timelines. And of course, in terms of the capex or investments, yes, we could be a little more liberal when we are talking of projects with 35, 40 years of the life cycle, rather than talking in terms of the just double digits of IRR and all. We need to look for double digits of stability. That's in a very nutshell I could suggest.
Mr. Deepak, thank you, sir, for your comment. Mr. Deepak, you come from a DISCOM. So do you agree with the statement which I have made, adding on that what Mr. Romesh has also claimed? So please unmute yourself. Deepak, sir, please unmute yourself.
So basically, the capacity is being added faster than the system connectivity and intelligence. So we have to more intelligent, we have to adopt more technology transformations like drums, ADMS system, EMS. Also, we have to work on the energy storage system like hydro pumped storage, battery-based energy storage system. So we have to be more agile and we have to work on the transmission and network strengthening. There is requirement of policy and market reforms as per market requirements. So the role of regulatory and policies are also come in the picture. So that is okay. So that is enough from the DISCOM side, I think.
Okay. Shamanto, sir, your take on this?
Hi, sir. Can you please repeat the question? My communication was
speaking about the current scenario of the energy transition of the power sector, if as a whole, we can say. As Mr. Himadri just spoke, and I've taken the point from him that there is a stress. There is a stress if we spoke about the grid system, power system. Also, regarding the technological, technologies which the companies have come up with, right? Speaking about the policies, the government initiatives, irrespective of that, there is a stress. So what is your take on that?
So I actually said that first thing is the stress, what we talk about or in the market, what people are talking about, that is mostly on the transmission level, high voltage level or the aggregate level, which is visible. But I would like to I have a different take that stress is there, but stress at the aggregate level, what you see, that is the symptom. But actually, stress is even at the low voltage level. So, sensing and measurement and capturing data, that is actually highly not there. Say, for example, I talked about in the low voltage level, I have seen more than 7% to 12% harmonics are there. If we do not measure flicker, but the moment we keep actually power quality analyzer, the moment actually you capture the stress at the lowest level, the aggregate level will operate better. And the network planning perspective, like transmission corridor creation 3 years, where actually it is mostly on the land acquisition, not really actually transmission line, etc. So that is where another support is needed, because in my earlier stint in Tata Power, we had grown 8 times in transmission acquisition, but actually we were struggling only on the land acquisition. Same is KEC, same is Adani, same experience is same everywhere. But measuring, sensing and measuring at the low voltage 11 kV, etc., like the power quality meter nobody is talking about. But power quality is not about only harmonics. Power quality is reactive. Power quality is actually voltage flicker, second swell, as well as your harmonics. And all together, when actually you do take care, just like earlier we were used to do X-ray, then MRI, then actually now ECG and all other stuff, like more frequent measurement, more granular measurement, and then grounds up, actually you create insights that will work. And else uh, only at the aggregate level, at the discom level or something, because I had worked in discom level since 30 years, but as long as you do not place that measurement at the lowest level, that is why smart metering is still being seen as revenue meter. But that same sensing measurement can also capture some amount of power quality as well as different measurement, which can actually translate into better network planning. Battery energy storage, storage like capacitor, we know it low, closest possible to the load actually gives the better result. Same is the storage. So on an unofficial estimation, we had 300 gigawatt of battery storage because of inverter and all other stuff. Our grid load is now 500 or something like that. So we are not actually taking the tap as an ancillary market from that. And load curtailment, load shifting, we were, as an operator, we were used to request BPCL, RCF, etc., to ramp up their generation or ramp down their generation. So VPP market, people are talking about, look, taking action faster to making it correct, 100% correct policy. It never happens. You make it fast. You want to go into the Indian energy stack, more customer participation, but at the aggregate level, you actually consolidate settle the market after 7 to 10 days. It doesn't work. You have to settle like bank closure every day. The energy market settlement has to be every day. For that thing, metering and metering data acquisition and IT system. So these are actually something is needed to be done.
Okay, I got your point, sir. Himadri, sir, Mr. Shamanta was speaking about the metering thing, data, which is much required to at the low voltage level to avoid the stress. Your take on this?
I think this is very true. I talked very briefly about market intervention, right? When I talk about market intervention, I'm also talking of customer intervention, because ultimately the marketing of electricity finally affects the customer. It goes to the customer. Electricity goes to the customer. Now, there are two aspects in this. One is, of course, the smart metering is one aspect, but I think one more important, very, very important area is, considering that we are going to have this issue about mismatch between the renewable energy marching forwards as for meeting our climate control climate goals, and the thermal power generation being actually reduced in terms of both capacity and actual PLF. We have to have proper demand side management in this whole system. Unfortunately, we are still not addressed that demand side management properly in India. In Europe, I have worked a lot in Europe because I was working in UK and other places also. This is one area where they have started attacking this particular area right from the beginning. So they have not only smart meters, they have smart homes, they have smart, refrigerators, smart thermocouples. So at any time, when the demand has to be actually properly curtailed or shifted, not curtailed, shifted through tariff, again through tariff and incentives, then you need to have, these technologies also to be integrated into the system. But again and again, I always repeat that you have to have, your main control over inertia through thermal power generation for a long, long time to come. It may be up to around 40, 45, maybe the next 30 years in India at least. As you know, Germany today is actually reviving their coal plants and lignite plants. Why? Various factors also come in, when we are actually looking at this entire power generation scenario. So meet the stress. There is no one prescription on an antibiotic. Like your body, you have to understand your body, you have to understand the circulation in your body, the organs in your body, their functions, what actually works, what doesn't work. So you have to have simulation. And without simulation modeling, planning is of no use. And that's what is actually affecting us today in India. We have to get in. A lot of economic simulation is in our finance ministry or all, they do a lot of simulation. But in power, we hardly do any simulation. We do projections, modeling, and all that kind of thing, which are mostly static. So I think that's one of the areas also to be addressed.
Okay, nicely explained, sir. Moving ahead, energy transition is already in place, So what should be the top priorities for building a future-ready grid? We are also speaking about the grid that can seamlessly integrate the integrated renewable energy, EVs, green hydrogen, distributed energy resources, all are in place. So what should be the top priorities? Sir, this is for you, Mr. Romesh, sir.
You talked about, or rather, am I correct in understanding that you are asking about the priority?
Yes, sir. Priority, the future prospects, energy transition is in place. So
I think the priority should be widening our portfolio so that we can create the stability. So far, good, bad, right, wrong, we have been wholly relying on solar and wind, and that's why we are talking of more stress. It is always easy to be wiser after the event, and it is not the moment to say, I told you so. But several years back, when there was everybody talking about the solar and wind, we had discussions where we talked about the stresses that we are seeing today and focused on rather try to get the attention of the powers that be to invest in hydro as well as the nuclear. Of course, hydrogen was not at that point of time even in our visibility for power generation. But this was something which was known. So even today, we believe that we need to diversify our portfolio of transition more in terms of the hydro, nuclear, as well as solar and wind. This is as far as the generation part is concerned. As far as the distribution part is concerned, we need to invest heavily on storage. Is still far off, both in terms of efficiency as well as the economics. What we need to talk about in terms of inverters, large scale inverters, and microgrids catering to a smaller catchment area rather than transmitting the power in the long distance. So these are just two basic points I would say our priority should be.
thank you, sir. Mr. Yes, we got your point, sir. Thank you. Mr. Deepak, your take on this, sir. So please unmute yourself. Yeah.
So I think the real priority now is grid flexibility, especially the thermal power plant, then storage, and then the digital intelligence to adopt the latest technology and ensure reliability alongside sustainability. I think these are the priority for the grid stability.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Mr. Shamanto, so what should be the priority in speaking about the future?
So, priority is actually visibility, what is happening where. And for that planning and execution, actually sensing and measurement. Again, I'm coming into the same point. You know that in a distribution transformer, we are placing smart meter, which is inoperational in most of the thing. And there the power quality data like the voltage or reactive and many other things are not there. Even in smart metering, like the coincident peak for the customer with the great peak, like demand response you want to do, which customer to approach. So that kind of data is not available. So if you want to shed non-critical, so we do not have that kind of spec in place. So we are running with the same standardization, which was used to happen in each and every meter. Your discom name and meter number is to be noted. Whereas in meter mobile, actually IMA number is the definition of the mobile. So we are running with the same specification, whether it's a distribution transformer or meter or 11 kV cable or 33 kV or even high voltage. So for that thing, actually sensing and measurement, capturing data, analyzing the data, and also getting out of the mindset that the power field has not changed, and uh, work on more on data to create analytical insight both for the asset and network level. Then only you can take a decision and actually get out of the stress. And stress will be there, variability, just like stock market in power market is also very much fluctuating every throughout the day, and that will be there. That is going to more and more. That is why more and more sensors, more and more data, high frequency data and data analytics, that is to be done. That is what is the priority.